the webinar, Generate Demand, Deliver Fast Fashion. We're just going to wait a few minutes whilst people continue to log in, and then we will start shortly. Webinar, Generate Demand, Deliver Fast Fashion. We're just going to wait a few more minutes whilst people continue to log in, and then we will start shortly. welcome everyone. Hopefully you can all hear me. I'm Heather Wiley. I will properly introduce today's event in a little while, but before we officially kick off, I'm just going to run through some housekeeping points so everyone can hear the webinar and post questions, etc. You will be listening in via your computer speakers or headset. We will not be asking you to feedback or join in via the teleconference. If for some reason you have an issue with listening on your computer, you can listen in via the phone. We have people who are still logging in, so I'll just leave this slide up a little bit longer. We also provide an audio-visual recording of this webinar, including the Q&A session and accompanying presentations following the event. I'll give you the link, or you can find it online at www.just-style.com/webinars. You can also follow highlights of the event on Twitter using the hashtag #JSEvent. I've been given the nod from our technical people that everyone's online and ready to go, so let's begin. Good day. Today's session is Generate Demand, Deliver Fast Fashion with EdgeAX PLM. Thank you for joining us. I'm Heather Wiley from JustStyle.com. I'm going to be exploring how EdgeAX PLM solution can meet your application functional fit, your collaboration with internal users and external partners on top of a global and technically strong platform, Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012. To get started, let me take a brief moment to tell you about today's format and the Q&A process. The entire webinar, you can submit questions through the panel on the right of your screen, where you type in your questions or any issues with the audio or video. I'll hold the questions until the presentation is completed and post them on your behalf, so that your identity will remain anonymous to the audience, and if we don't have a chance to answer all of the questions, you'll get a reply via email at a later date. Let's get started, and the first thing I would like to do is tell you a little bit about the presenters. Rosetta Jamisi is the Executive Vice President for Direct-to-Consumer Solutions, 20 years of experience in the apparel and retail industry, delivering software solutions from product life cycle to supply chain to distribution and financial systems. She's held various positions with increasing responsibilities to bring business solutions that lead to business transformation. John is the Senior Vice President for Product Development and Professional Services. He's extensively involved in technical, functional, management, governance and leadership roles in the organisation. Howard has done extensive work in consumer goods supply chain and retail industry involving numerous multi-billion corporations running complex supply chains. Trout is Principal SME with over 20 years of experience. Jim is an industry veteran and subject matter expert for the apparel and retail industry. Jim extensive real-world experience of industry-standard business process, best practices, enterprise business systems, business operations, and has been successful in numerous implementations through to execution and successful rollout. I'm going to hand you over to Rosetta, who will get us started on today's presentation.
Thank you all very much for taking time to be with us today, and welcome. The goal for today is to give you a good understanding of the value that you will gain from VisionNet EdgeAX Suite, specifically PLM, in addressing your current challenges to generate demand and achieve fast fashion. I'll provide you with a brief introduction on who we are and the vision for EdgeAX brand and solution suite created to implement that vision. Jawad, our VP of Product Development and Professional Service, will provide an overview of the EdgeAX Solution Suite and follow with key features on the EdgeAX PLM product and a detailed view of some of the more simple functions of EdgeAX PLM, and conclude with a Q&A session. The system started as a software services and solution company over 16 years ago with the apparel retail industry, and has been in this and still has been a key part and still is with the domestic and international apparel retail companies. Throughout this, we have finely tuned our domain and technical skills to better understand the industry needs in terms of software systems and solutions that achieve the strategic business objective. One unique in our ability is our ability to not provide a solution, but also become part of the business team in doing the problem that creates the product that expedites the solution. Edge, flagship brand of the VisionNet Systems company. As a Microsoft partner, VisionNet System embarked on developing an embedded solution to the Microsoft Dynamics AX that complements and establishes true PLM functionality and processes, thereby creating AX as our flagship suite of products that is tailor-made for the apparel and retail industry. In Cranberry, New Jersey, VisionNet has over 2,000 resources that are geographically positioned to global demands with offices in the U.S. and Asia. They're the EdgeAX, the partner of choice for leading global enterprises in the apparel retail industry. Combined proven implementation methodology with industry best practices to implement the EdgeAX solution suite. Leverage domain-specific expertise in business innovation and software technology, we provide customer with end-to-end implementation services for EdgeAX governed strong project management skills. The modules workflow and functionality follow apparel and retail industry best practices that lead to improved business efficiency and greater margins. From Microsoft Dynamics AX. It was simple. It is to expand the and agile Microsoft Dynamics AX platform to provide a comprehensive enterprise solution for apparel retail companies so that process functions are executed cohesive and efficiently, collaboration is established with vendors and customers, cutting-edge technologies leveraged and maximized, effectiveness for implementation and total cost of ownership is reached, and then generate demand in a dynamic global omnichannel environment. Expedite delivery and inventory turns, resulting in greater margins and fast fashion. To focus for the EdgeAX suite, review our high-level approach.
Thanks, Rosetta, and thank you everyone for joining us in this call today. EdgeAX Suite has been constructed on the foundation of Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 R2, which is an Edge ERP platform built using industry best practices and best-of-the-breed technologies introduced by Microsoft. Dynamics AX 2012 covers a set of horizontal capabilities inclusive of core services, supply chain management, and various other functions which are supported by a business intelligence and reporting capability. All capabilities are then leveraged by key capabilities which are manufacturing, distribution, and service industries, all made available out of the box. Suite, which is an extension as a sub-vertical functionality for fashion, apparel, and retail, has been created by extending out-of-the-box capabilities of Dynamics AX 2012. Dynamics AX 2012 and EdgeAX Suite, the overall solution that is effective and complete in order to uniquely satisfy the requirements of apparel and retail vertical. EdgeAX includes tailored functionalities for product lifecycle management, business intelligence, and EDI modules. Dynamics AX as the foundation, AX Suite is streamlined to use core data structures, workflow, business intelligence, visualization, security, Microsoft Office integration, and various other compelling capabilities of Dynamics AX. This culminates into a unique and compelling edge over ERP solutions available in the market today for this specific industry subvertical. In this basically is a high-level depiction of the overall solution. The overall solution consists of the core ERP functionality, which is accessible through the Smart Client for performing most operational activities through the desktop-based Smart Client. The solution also includes Microsoft SharePoint-based Enterprise Portal for key business functions over the web as well as for collaboration with the business partners. The components enriches the Dynamics AX functionality, and these are all highlighted as green on screen. These include the new portal, the designer community portal, and various enhancements to the vendor portal that comes out of the box with Dynamics AX. The core side, EdgeAX Suite offers full cycle product lifecycle module, which is a focal point of this conversation. The management components of EdgeAX Suite offer made functionality extensions for managing the back-end supply chain, procurement, and wholesale demand management functionality required by the more vertically integrated retailers. These help companies manage the electronic communication with the business partners through WAN by providing the business rule engine, the error, and the ability to manage the overall document setup, processing, and issue resolution cycle with agility as well as robustness. Lastly, the EdgeAX Retail BI solution offers pre-integrated, extensive analytical and operational tools, all available over the web as well as through Excel for addressing the day-to-day needs for the retail business operations. The full product lifecycle management and try to understand the kind of extensive coverage that EdgeAX PLM offers to the business. Center of the product lifecycle management, there are 4 key principles that EdgeAX has been built upon. And those are collaboration and reuse. They bring both internally as well as externally to expedite the processes. Integration with the downstream functions of supply chain by sharing the application data structures as well as master data. Essentially out-of-the-box analytics and operational business intelligence for managing the key business processes like product portfolio, consumer demands, etc. Process management, leveraging the effective built-in workflow capabilities of Dynamics AX without having to deploy the expensive third-party tools and avoiding all costs associated with that traditional approach. The PLM application covers the full cycle of processes from initial planning of a season to the release of the product to the supply chain. And it begins with planning, where concepts concepts or inspirations with related images and documents are managed. The plan is defined, including holders for products, and the seasonal calendar is also defined in that process. When activities proceed, images are created and maintained, materials are developed and created in the EdgeAX PLM along with products. Now, development continues with the supporting setups for products and materials are defined. The first material begins to shape up, the measurements and construction details are created, and specifications are also finalized and detailed out as the products are generated towards completeness. As the sourcing of the product is determined, the vendor performance may be reviewed, request for quotation for new products is generated, and delivery aspects are negotiated. And the status of the product, bill of materials, specifications, requests for quotations, the samples are all maintained through the life of a product. Each of these statuses is available for review through various forms, including BI reporting, queues, alerts, which are available through Role Center as well as on the Enterprise portal. Continues through the process, it will be ultimately released to the supply chain management as the sales cycle with the customers is initiated. As I described, EdgeAX supplies total product life cycle coverage through a single integrated solution, which is embedded by Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012. Comprehensively described the background information of EdgeAX PLM and how it relates to the process cycle coverage for the apparel and retail industry. We'll be narrowing down on the PM capabilities of EdgeAX module. The need, ability, and process-centric execution is fundamental for the success of businesses today. It is of paramount importance for businesses to have the ability to rapidly capture consumer demand, trends, and respond to them on a timely basis. Making adjustments to current and future inventory levels, as well as the ability to introduce products and also new variants of existing products to end consumer at a fast pace, so that the new customers are developed and retention of existing customers is ensured. This is simply not possible without a fluent, sophisticated, and streamlined technology infrastructure. And large corporations with massive IT spending and resources have the opportunity to set up such an infrastructure to cope with this challenge. Edge PLM features have been carefully chosen and designed to do exactly that. The emphasis of EdgeAX is on the right spending on the capability in order to ensure the best value for the business. This PLM feature displays the functionality included in the EdgeAX PLM application. PLM feature map described here includes seasonal planning, seasonal setups, product creation, product specification, vendor management, product processing, integration, and questions and insights. Functions include functionality available through the PLM client as well as through the portals over the web. The tools like Adobe Illustrator has been integrated to provide common and known designer tools. BI are available to analyze performance as well as current activities in order to communicate with internal resources as well as trading partners in a collaborative mode and progress of product development throughout the cycle. In this time, we have selected key features to review as highlighted on the feature map. Jim will take us through the EdgeAX PLM application and salient features of the application.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for joining today. The role is an extremely useful general feature of Microsoft Dynamics AX. As part of it, EdgeAX PLM comes with pre-built role center, which is customizable to meet the needs of individual users and companies. The benefit of PLM Role Center is to introduce efficiencies at the individual work level so that the individual can find the most commonly needed information at their fingertips instead of having to look for it and carry their day-to-day activities. On Role Center includes links to commonly used functionality, KPIs, the key performance indicators, business views, work item lists, and queues such as the products, materials, and vendor activity. Provides a usability experience consistent with the EdgeAX core functionality. As you can see on the screen, all the options are available on the EdgeAX PLM area page. This is also available on the left menu, as with the outbox Dynamics AX modules. Given the consistency of the overall usability of EdgeAX PLM with the Dynamics AX, the training and adoption overhead is minimized. PLM specific functions as well as Microsoft Dynamics AX functions are included in the area page for both enhanced and existing functions, the apparel and retail vertical. The common menu, major functions that includes the creation and maintenance of products, to include the addition of compatible attributes to aid in the describing of the products for the apparel industry. Also, the addition and maintenance of material functionality was enhanced. The addition of common material types and materials for the apparel vertical. A request for quotations process that is accessed, along with the sample order process. Additionally, an extensive line plan view functionality that has been added. Vendor menu provides convenient access to the vendor functions that are required during product development. The material attributes expands to provide a structure of common industry-specific attribute setups that supports the need to describe raw materials. The menus includes the setups utilized from the base functions to support the entry of cost sheets. The inquiries menu provides access to reporting and inquiries related to the product activity. This groups functions related to the season setup, calendar, and for defining concepts and related images. And reference tab groups the support setups required for the product creation and maintenance, which includes sizes, colors, measurements, construction sets, and product attributes. The library is an added function that allows one to define specific designs and to associate those designs with various types of image information. This is instrumental in organizing and grouping images and documents for a particular design, and thereby providing efficiency of access and reuse of that information. As part of functionality, specific support is included for Adobe Illustrator, which is a tool that is very commonly used in the apparel industry for design purposes. This can be linked to the design, and multiple types of files and attachments can be linked to the design. The construct function, an added function that supports the ability to define a general model for construction detail for a product. This model provides the ability to expedite the creation process of a new product, generating efficiencies in a fast fashion world. For each construction set, multiple construction points may be created and maintained. It can be linked to the construction points, and they include documents, files, SSRIs reports, and URLs. Measurement set function is a function that supports the definition of a general model for grading rules and measurements. One models and templates are key in eliminating redundant effort. The function includes the grouping of various points of measure into a set, which typically would be for a specific product category. The sizing to be used for grading rules is defined, and this typically will be used when samples are created. Grade rules are entered per point of measure, and then specific measurements per size and point of measure are calculated. AX base functionality, bill of material lacks some common apparel and retail functionality. With AX PLM, the bill of material was reworked to adhere to apparel and retail best practices as follows. For one, is to inherit from the material setup a major type of definition to group the materials, such as for fabric and trim, as you can see on the screen. That type is configurable, but can commonly be used to segregate the trim, fabric, artwork, packaging, and so forth. The material was enhanced to identify the placement information, describing how the material be used so that it is accurately constructed during production. Specifications essential in the apparel retail industry and was created in the EdgeAX PLM module to maintain pace with the speed of fashion, the product, and create efficiencies in process by collaborating with vendors, designers, and sourcing specialists alike. The PLM specification functions defines the specification of a specific product and includes, under the General tab, comments related to the design and specification of the product that be entered and subsequently displayed on the text back. The image page, product images are defined, and one image that will be displayed as the default image of the product throughout the system. Under the Construction Set tab, the detail for a specific product is defined with various construction points and images of those of that construction detail. The Measurement Template tab are the various points of measure, the grading, and the measurements per size. Measurements and grading may be copied from the general model, as we described previously, or they are uniquely created for the specific product. Reference identifies the bill of material with the details to include the raw material placement and any vendor comments about those components. The vendor specifies the vendors to be selected in the SQ process. And as you can see on the screen, then from here you can initiate the tech pack, and then the vendor tab, you can also initiate the request for quotation process. Rated for multiple functions is from the specification setup that we just reviewed, plan view, and the portals that support communication with internal and external resources. Providing this access, self-service, and collaboration among the users of the tech pack is over the course of the global day. Tech support displayed on this screen. In the upper left, a product summary would show images and certain summary information about the product. There can be a series of pages that may be displayed, and then construction sets. Image detail is displayed, as you can see in the upper right of the screen. Measurements are displayed, and in the screen, the slide, the measurements are in the midpoint on the left, and corresponding to the measurements, the grading rules displayed midpoint on the right. Instructions may be listed, which would include comments from or from vendors themselves as the feedback process for the specification continues. In the lower left is the bill of material, and then in the lower right, the fit sheet, on which actual measurements obtained from samples is listed, or from that have been received. While making base Dynamics AX functionality for implementation purposes and upgrade compatibility, PLM cost sheet function base Dynamics AX functionality along procurement and production structures. The resulting cost sheet provides the necessary comparisons to compare costs across vendors and determine accurate margins. That is displayed as an example for procured product and includes the purchase price, and there may be related trade agreements for a reference vendor. Additional setups can be utilized to define what becomes charges for the product. The cost sheet structure for the procured products is set up to inherit a cost sheet structure from a vendor charge group and to save them charges so that they are used during the procurement process. Summation of costs with margin calculations is provided. The reference of the specific bill of material to be used by the vendor with related costs is displayed so that those can be negotiated during product sourcing discussions. Alternative of the cost sheet includes a comparative display of costs from various vendors to see specific vendor-to-vendor comparison for a specific product. Line planning and seasonality is of critical importance. Given the depth and breadth of seasonal assortments in a typical apparel business, the flexibility and adaptability to a user demands is key to a good line planning tool. EdgeAX PLM allows you to capture data as the foundation of the line plan, and then go through the line plan with ease, regardless of whether you want to view and maintain a single product or view and mass maintain a full line. And view in an EdgeAX PLM defined function includes of powerful and functions related to the products within a season. The line slide display shows a grid display of the product view. And in these different views, at the beginning of the slide, there are action planes for view, a bill view, a color view, a sourcing view, and a costing view. Each views provides a filtered grid of specific data and allows one to display specific data to that group and data and mass. Costing view original action panes which provide the to copy existing products to create a new product, the ability to carry products over to a new season, the ability to generate requests for quotation and specifications, and then action panes that support the ability to define, subsequently to view, and then later to adopt placeholders on the timeline. After function by apparel and retail companies, ability to see and manage seasonal calendars. EdgeAX PLM calendar management is integrated with the workflow capabilities for 60-degree around the milestones and activities during the seasonal cycle. This provides management with a clear view of calendar status to ensure timely task completion and product delivery. The seasonal calendar function allows one to view the seasonal calendar, to manage the calendar by adding tasks, removing tasks, and otherwise maintaining the calendar. These calendar management and event information is visible in interactive dashboards. Information can be analyzed by product lines, categories, designers, and by the season. To summarize the planning process, the function allows you to visualize and share line information and facilitate at market activities. The functional access from the line plan view allows one to construct various to display product information to include for distribution key stakeholders. PLM functionality incorporates request for quote functionality in a streamlined process manner, so that selection as well as RFQs can be managed efficiently, expediting time, and ensure speed to market for fashion. The quotation process includes the ability to initiate the RFQ to get appropriate tech packs to distribute that request to specific vendors selected, leading to acceptance or rejection of a quote and creating of trade agreements as required. The inner part of that process, in which the responds to the quote request and communicated by vendor through the vendor portal or by company using the desktop client version. The is spanning the global day for 24-hour activity. In most retail systems, sample processing is usually the red-haired stepchild, pushed aside, manual with no ability to events and inventory. The PLM sample process brings to the forefront the ability to initiate sample orders based on trade agreements and the product setup. The system will to receive and to inventory or simply expense the samples, record measurements, and approve or reject those samples. Work process is utilized for the approval process. It's visible on this screen on the process by the yellow highlight. Edge to main stream sample process as a value-add function and to opt vendor selection process through visibility of past history. And now the process that gives you control and visibility of inventory, process, and timeline. Portals are long sought after but rarely established for all functional needs. EdgeAX PLM has established a comprehensive portal functionality for internal and external users that not only allows collaboration, but in the Mac world, designers live. Design team members typically require out-of-the-office access to product data. This functionality provides the on-the-go business user access to important information anywhere, anytime. The ability to create, to view, and to maintain products, processes, concepts, and just related to those concepts, for quotations, samples, and specifications. Note the center there, you can select a product to publish to the design portal, which we'll discuss shortly. This allows us to publish a collaborative community product for which we can feedback in the way of likes and comments. Provides a collaborative environment to communicate with vendors included in the company supply chain, streamlining communication, improving quality, and expediting time to market. Such includes to view, obtain selected vendor profile and contact information, distributing product information, including the specifications, responding to request quotation, and status of the product samples. Business intelligence is no longer a nice-to-have option for every company. It's the central point of focus for key executives and decision makers. The value of BI for PLM is the foundation of planning, tracking, realization of timely product creation. With this in mind, EdgeAX PLM provides extensive capability in Microsoft best-of-breed technology by synthesizing data into information and visualizing it into quick and actionable insights. EdgeAX provides a library of interactive and analytical reports related to product activity, status of products as they move through the development process, track queues and responses, tracking the sample status, season and post-season product performance tracking that leads to accurate and timely decisions and generate demand for the product. Creative individuals that naturally crave feedback, inspired by social interaction. Traditional PLM solutions do not provide convenient, designer-friendly social platforms with autonomous, collaborative internal communities. Under the new generation of tech-savvy designers, Edge Designer Community Portal was to avail the designers with technology that will enhance and boost their creativity. The is the internal social network that extends to the supply chain for feedback and review concepts and products, which is then used to shape the final product look and feel. Those with to the designer portal can view products that have been published, view specimens, including the bill of material, view the images of the product, provide feedback response through like and responses with comments based on the information presented, view what's hot and what trends have been observed. My EdgeAX functional presentation, and now I pass back to Rosetta to provide us with the final thoughts before the Q&A session.
Well, we've packed this short period of time with a lot of information, and what I just wanted to go through with some final thoughts in terms of what's out there from a product. Functionality that brings you a power retail to new levels with AX PLM. You can find PLM benefits across the board, like reduced product development time, improved time to market, reduced total lead time, reduced cost of quality, reduced total product cost. But what AX adds to it is a unique benefit that builds around collaboration with the user in mind and thereby set the standards for current and future PLM solutions. Sophisticated business intelligence capabilities we've just talking about that provides on-demand insight to all stakeholders from the application. Its integration with the AX core ERP functions allows the lower operational overhead and brings efficiency to the organization. User experience sets the tone for user adoption and acceptance, which essentially raises the product's success factor. The solution provides a favorable total cost of ownership based on ready-made solutions of Microsoft Dynamics AX and EdgeAX PLM applications. And no customization is needed, as well as lower infrastructure and deployment cost. A high degree of productivity is achieved through native integration with user productivity tools like Microsoft Office integrated solution. Of Microsoft Dynamics AX with AX is the decisive choice for fast fashion and faster ROI. time. We're going to open now with our Q&A sessions. Open up the floor to see if we can answer some of your questions. I see questions popping, and the first question that I have is driving investment in PLM from a user perspective. That I think about that the PLM discipline and supporting application have been around for a long while and have matured considerably over time. However, a changing landscape in business technologies keeps driving the need for better functionality and newer innovative ways to run the business. That most companies are looking for right now are collaboration. I think we said collaboration over and over, and I think it still stands. People are looking for an open platform where all stakeholders communicate instantaneously. Business process management through workflows, that's always been a key factor for people. More recently, is dashboards and analytics to understand the operations and product performance for quick decision-making that drive revenue and customer satisfaction. I think also most companies are positioned to bring change in their PLM application within the next 18 months and require a quick implementation with ready-made solutions that quickly ROI realization. That kind of answered that question from what we see it to be. Here, is it possible to carry out costing before you get too far into production? You can talk a little bit about this.
Sure, thank you. Continue on use of sourcing models where product is sourced through procurement processes. And cost, the most volatile element of the cost is the logistical cost of transport from the point of manufacturing to distribution. From a full implementation of a solution lies in determining the correct mix of transport modes, the waste from versus shipping mix. And secondly, collapsing the overall timeline from the point when the initial cost estimates occurred to the time of the transport. Finally, by engaging the logistic operations in the collaborative process during the product development process. With analysis of current logistical performance, we believe there is a clear potential to improve costing estimates.
Thanks, Jim. As I'm looking through some of these other questions, I see I have a couple more that are more technically related. So I'm going to ask Jawad to answer them. The first one is, in terms of technology, what additional products or third-party components are needed to deploy and execute EdgeAX PLM?
Yep, that's a great question. I would like to just a little bit more detail, and I hope that will answer some of the other questions that have popped up. So EdgeAX strictly conforms to the architecture and standards of Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012. There are no third-party components or technologies which are required to make this work. Basically, any customer which has Dynamics AX 2012 R2 deployed or in the process of deploying that particular solution, Edge Suite will work as a snap-on top of that. And to explain it in more detail, from BI point of view, the solution is built on latest and greatest Microsoft technology stack, for example, SQL Server 2012, Power Pivot, Power View, and also Excel 2013. From every point of view, the web components and portals have been developed on top of SharePoint 2013 using its business intelligence centers. From integration point of view, obviously, the based integration capabilities can be leveraged. BizTalk can be used, provided if companies have different, of systems which all need to be integrated. From within the system point of view, again, all the EdgeAX components, they reside inside Microsoft Dynamics assets themselves and do not need any external middleware or integration to work with. Answers the question.
Thanks. I see that our time is starting to, so we'll get one more question in here. This question comes today: how do you see virtual product development affecting the apparel industry? Virtual business is here to stay, and product development area of the business is really a natural area for virtual expansion. The new technologies that AX and PLM incorporates, most of the virtual product development functions through base portals that bring together designers, customers, consumers, and value chain partners to a single source of truth. And we all struggle with that with all the different technologies that we work with. So this is really a very avant-garde, actually needed function. We arrive at a final idea or product quickly, accurately, and predictably, which ultimately minimizes cost, avoids missed timelines, and brings value. That's how I see. I think that virtual product development is definitely here to stay. So hopefully we can contribute to that and make you a success in your business. Our time is running out, so I will try to reply to all of your questions that you've posed today. Thank you all for your participation and your interest in EdgeAX PLM, and have a great day and a good night. Thank you.